Your identity is the root from which all your actions grow. Every decision you make, every risk you take, every step forward or backward, traces back to one thing: the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as a winner, you will behave in ways that align with that identity. If you see yourself as someone who's always struggling, you'll unconsciously act to reinforce that narrative, even if it's not what you consciously want. This is why transformation starts on the inside. Not in your bank account, not in your job title, not even in your habits, but in your sense of self. The mind works like a thermostat. Whatever setting you've locked in for yourself, whether it's mediocrity, excellence, or greatness, you'll naturally adjust your behaviors and decisions to stay consistent with that internal setting. If you see yourself as someone who's just trying to get by, you'll make choices that reflect that limited belief. You'll settle, you'll hesitate, you'll procrastinate, and you'll rationalize it all because it matches your internal image. But the opposite is also true. If you identify as someone who is meant to win, someone who is built to overcome and lead, then every challenge becomes fuel. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to validate that identity. People often try to change their lives by force: new routines, new diets, new strategies, but without shifting identity, those changes rarely stick. You can act like a disciplined person for a while, but if you still see yourself as inconsistent or lazy deep down, eventually your actions will revert to match that belief. This is why identity-based change is so powerful. When you stop trying to act like a winner and instead become *1 in your mind, everything else starts to realign. Naturally, this isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing a more empowering belief system and reinforcing it through action. You're not pretending to be something you're not. You're deciding who you are and allowing your behavior to reflect that decision. Think about athletes before a competition. The great ones don't wait until they cross the finish line to feel like champions. They step onto the field already carrying the energy, the posture, and the focus of a champion. That's identity at work. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, "I'll believe I'm a winner once I start winning." But that's not how high performers operate. They believe first, act from that belief, and then the results follow. Belief doesn't come from evidence. Belief creates evidence. When you consistently act from a powerful identity, you begin to accumulate small wins. Those wins compound, confidence grows, and soon the external world starts catching up to your internal conviction. This is why affirmations and visualizations can be effective, but only when paired with action. Saying, "I am successful," means little if your behavior contradicts it. But when you align your words, your thoughts, and your actions around a clear identity, that's when transformation becomes real. You don't have to feel 100% certain to begin. You just have to be willing to interrupt the old pattern and step into a new one. Your nervous system responds to patterns. When you consistently act like someone who wins, who speaks with authority, who moves with purpose, who stays disciplined even when no one's watching, you begin to rewire your internal script. Neuroplasticity proves that your brain is always adapting. Every moment you act like a winner, even when you don't feel like it, you're reinforcing the neural connections that support that identity. Over time, this becomes your new normal. One of the fastest ways to shift identity is to change the standards you tolerate. Winners have higher standards, not just in performance, but in mindset, relationships, and daily habits. They demand more of themselves because they believe they're capable of more. When you raise your standards and stop tolerating excuses, laziness, or negative self-talk, you begin to live from a different place. You stop needing external validation to prove your worth because you've already claimed that worth internally. Acting like you were meant to win isn't arrogance. It's alignment. You're not faking anything. You're stepping into the version of you that's always been there, waiting to be claimed. The sooner you stop outsourcing your identity to results and start taking ownership of how you show up, the faster you'll start seeing evidence of your potential in every area of your life. Certainty is not some mystical quality that only a few are born with. It's not reserved for the lucky or the naturally confident. It's a skill, a muscle that anyone can build. Just like physical strength is built in the gym through resistance, mental certainty is developed through repetition, challenge, and deliberate conditioning. It's something you practice, not something you wait for. People who consistently perform at a high level don't rely on the world to give them certainty, they generate it from within. They don't need external evidence to feel grounded in their mission. They create that feeling by choosing focus, consistency, and belief, even when there's no proof yet. Most people are waiting to feel confident before they take bold action. They're waiting for the perfect sign, the right moment, or someone else's approval. But waiting is a trap. Confidence doesn't show up before action, it is built through action. You don't wait to feel certain before you move, and certainty follows. Each time you follow through on your word, each time you keep a promise to yourself, each time you choose courage over comfort, you're building the psychological muscle of certainty. And over time, it becomes unshakable. That inner certainty creates an edge. When you walk into a situation with true certainty, whether it's a business meeting, a performance, a negotiation, or a personal challenge, people feel it. It's not about arrogance or ego. It's about clarity, purpose, and grounded conviction, and it's magnetic. When you're certain, you speak differently, you move differently, you create momentum, and momentum breeds more certainty. But let's be clear, certainty isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. Even the most powerful people feel fear, doubt, or uncertainty, but they don't live in that space. They choose a higher standard. They ground themselves in their mission, their preparation, and their belief in their capacity to grow. That's what makes them powerful. It's not that they never question themselves, it's that they don't let those questions run the show. So, how do you build certainty when you're just starting out, when you don't have results yet? You manufacture it through preparation and repetition. When you prepare like a professional, you don't need to hope everything goes well. No asterisk, you're ready. The hours you invest behind the scenes, when no one is watching, build a foundation of confidence that no critic or setback can shake. You become bulletproof, not because life gets easier, but because you've trained yourself to be stronger. Repetition is your ally. The more you do something, the less power fear has over it. What once felt overwhelming becomes automatic. That's not luck, that's neural conditioning. Every time you show up, especially when it's uncomfortable, you're carving a new path in your brain. You're replacing hesitation with confidence, replacing self-doubt with certainty. And it's all within your control. Certainty also comes from clarity. When you know what you want and why you want it, you stop chasing distractions. You stop entertaining every shiny object or opinion that tries to pull you off course. You operate with intention. People who are unclear about their goals, their values, or their purpose are always second, guessing themselves. They look outside for answers. But those who have clarity, even if the path is still unfolding, can move forward with certainty because they trust their direction. There's also a physical component to certainty. Your body and mind are linked. How you breathe, how you stand, how you move, it all sends signals to your nervous system. If you carry yourself like someone who's uncertain, you'll start to feel that way. But if you use your body to generate energy, power, and presence, your brain will begin to follow. This is why elite performers use rituals not just to prepare mentally, but to ignite certainty in their physiology. Another major source of certainty is your internal dialogue. The words you say to yourself shape your emotional state. If you constantly say things like, "I'm not ready," "What if I fail," or "This might not work," your brain will respond accordingly. But if you say, "I've trained for this," "I have what it takes," or "Let's go," you activate a different state entirely. You can't always control the first thought that comes to mind, but you can control the second. That's where your power lies. The world often mirrors your energy. If you show up unsure, hesitant, or disconnected, don't be surprised if people respond with doubt. But if you show up with certainty, even if you don't have every answer, people are far more likely to follow, support, and trust you. The environment responds to the level of belief you bring into it. And that belief isn't given to you. It's trained, built, rehearsed, earned. How you carry yourself physically has a direct impact on how you feel mentally and emotionally. The connection between your body and your mind is not just metaphorical, it's neurological. The way you stand, walk, sit, and breathe sends powerful signals to your brain, and those signals shape your thoughts, attitudes, and behavior. You've probably heard the phrase, "fake it till you make it." But there's truth behind it. The physical act of carrying yourself like a confident, capable person doesn't just change how others perceive you, it changes how you perceive yourself. When you stand tall with your shoulders back, chest open, and head high, it's not just about looking confident to the outside world. That posture directly influences your internal state. Your body language communicates your feelings of self-worth to your brain, which in turn triggers biochemical responses. When you slouch, hunch over, or close yourself off, your brain receives the message that you're not confident, and it responds accordingly, often with feelings of insecurity, fear, or uncertainty. But when you open up your body, stand tall, and take deep, purposeful breaths, your brain gets the signal that you're in control and capable of handling whatever comes your way. This is why successful people often exhibit power postures. Their body language exudes confidence, even when they're dealing with challenges. The simple act of adopting a powerful posture can elevate your mood, increase your energy levels, and boost your overall sense of control. When you walk into a room with a strong, open stance, you're not only making a statement to others, you're reinforcing your own belief in your abilities. Your body acts as a mirror of your inner state, and the stronger your body language, the stronger your mental and emotional state becomes. It's not just about looking confident, it's about feeling confident. Your brain is constantly scanning for clues about your emotional state, and your body is a constant source of information. For instance, when you cross your arms or avoid eye contact, your brain interprets those physical signs as insecurity or defensiveness. When you stand with your feet apart, shoulders back, and maintain strong eye contact, your brain gets the message that you're confident and ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. This physical alignment with confidence boosts your chances of success because you're sending a consistent signal to your brain that matches the belief you want to embody. But confidence through physiology goes beyond just posture. How you breathe plays a massive role in your mental clarity and emotional resilience. Shallow, rapid breathing sends signals of stress and anxiety to the brain. In contrast, slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body and mind. By taking control of your breath, you can directly influence your mood and focus. This is why athletes, public speakers, and performers often use deep breathing techniques to maintain composure and focus during high-pressure situations. When you breathe deeply, your body relaxes, your thoughts become clearer, and you feel more in control of the situation at hand. Physiology also plays a role in how you approach challenges. People who experience stress and fear often exhibit certain physiological signs: tightened muscles, shallow breath, and a closed-off posture. But if you intentionally shift your physiology by relaxing your shoulders, straightening your back, and breathing deeply, you send a message to your body that the situation isn't as threatening as it might seem. This simple act of redirecting your physical state helps to calm your mind, allowing you to think more clearly and make better decisions. Another key component of physiology and mindset is energy. Energy is contagious. You've likely noticed that when you're around someone who's enthusiastic and positive, it's hard not to feel uplifted. The reverse is also true. If you're around someone who's withdrawn, anxious, or defeated, their energy can drag you down. This is why how you show up matters, not just to others, but to yourself. When you bring energy into a room, whether it's through your posture, your smile, or the way you engage with others, you create an environment that's more conducive to success. Your body becomes a source of power, not just for yourself, but for the people around you as well. The impact of physiology is not limited to social situations. It extends to your personal performance as well. Think about the way you approach your work or creative projects. If you sit hunched over in a chair, feel sluggish, or allow yourself to become physically stagnant, it's harder to summon the energy needed to perform at a high level. But when you engage in activities that boost your physical energy, whether it's stretching, walking, exercising, or even just standing up and moving around, you increase blood flow, oxygen to your brain, and overall focus. The more physically active and aligned you are, the more mentally alert and emotionally stable you become. The connection between body and mind is undeniable, and by investing in your physical state, you automatically enhance your mental and emotional capabilities as well. In this way, your body becomes not just a vessel for movement, but an active participant in shaping your success. How you move, breathe, and engage with the world around you influences the mental and emotional patterns you reinforce. If you move with purpose, you reinforce the belief that you're capable of taking control of your life and your circumstances. If you sit back, withdraw, and allow tension to build in your body, you inadvertently reinforce the belief that you're powerless to change. By consciously choosing how to carry yourself through posture, breath, and physical energy, you align your body with your goals, creating a synergy that supports your personal growth and success. The power of vision cannot be underestimated. Vision isn't just a lofty idea or a distant dream. It is the lens through which you see the world and ultimately create your future. When you possess a clear and compelling vision of what you want to achieve, it shapes every decision you make, every action you take, and every step you move toward your goal. The strength of your vision determines your ability to navigate obstacles, stay resilient in the face of adversity, and continue moving forward even when the world around you seems uncertain. A strong vision acts like a compass, guiding you through the turbulence of life and providing clarity when the path is not always obvious. Without a clear vision, you are left to react to whatever life throws at you. You are subject to external circumstances, constantly adjusting to the whims of your environment. This reactive mode of living leaves you at the mercy of situations and forces you to make decisions based on immediate circumstances, rather than long-term goals or values. But when you have a vision that aligns with your deepest desires and purpose, your decisions become proactive. Your actions are aligned with that vision, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to move closer to it, rather than a setback. The key here is understanding that your vision isn't bound by your current circumstances. Vision isn't about what is right in front of you. It's about what could be, what you can create, and where you are going. If you are living your life based on what is, you are limiting yourself. You are choosing to define yourself by the present reality, rather than by the future possibilities that are waiting for you. This is where vision comes in. It transcends your current reality. It's an image of who you want to become and what you want to create in your life. The clearer and more vivid that image is, the more motivated and driven you become, because you are no longer tethered to the limitations of the present moment. Your vision serves as a filter for every decision you make. It helps you determine what is worth your time and energy and what is not. When you know where you are headed, you can more easily identify distractions or opportunities that will either move you closer to or further away from your vision. For example, someone with a clear vision of financial independence will make different choices than someone who is simply reacting to the day-to-day demands of their life. The person with a vision has a greater sense of purpose and direction, allowing them to focus on long-term strategies rather than momentary pleasures or short-term fixes. Vision also plays a critical role in overcoming obstacles. Life will always throw challenges your way. These challenges may shake your confidence, test your resilience, and push you to the brink. However, when you have a powerful vision, it gives you the strength to push through difficult times. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you begin to see them as stepping stones, temporary difficulties that are part of the larger journey. A compelling vision keeps you motivated and focused when things get tough, reminding you of the bigger picture and the reasons why you're putting in the hard work and effort. Furthermore, vision has the power to reshape your environment. When you are deeply connected to your vision, it alters how you interact with the world around you. Your actions, energy, and mindset start to attract opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with what you are striving for. This is often referred to as the law of attraction, the idea that your internal state of belief and purpose can influence the external world. But it's not just about magical thinking. It's about aligning your behavior with your vision and projecting a sense of certainty, which in turn invites the right conditions into your life. People who live with vision tend to build networks, relationships, and opportunities that support their goals because they are clear about what they want and are actively seeking it. One of the most powerful aspects of having a clear vision is its ability to overcome fear and uncertainty. Fear is often a result of the unknown, a natural response to situations where the outcome is unclear. But when you have a vivid vision, it reduces uncertainty. The path forward, though it may not be easy, becomes clearer. You may not have every answer, but the certainty of where you are headed gives you the courage to move forward even in the face of fear. Vision helps you replace fear of failure with the excitement of progress. Instead of worrying about what could go wrong, you focus on the lessons you'll learn and the growth that will result from each experience. A powerful vision also creates accountability, both to yourself and others. When you are deeply connected to your vision, you take ownership of your actions and their outcomes. You hold yourself accountable because you know that every decision, no matter how small, impacts the larger picture. This level of accountability drives you to stay disciplined, to continue working even when motivation wanes, and to take consistent, focused action toward your goals. Living with a strong vision gives you the mental clarity to make decisions with confidence. It eliminates confusion and provides a framework for decision making. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, the choices you need to make become easier. Vision doesn't just help you plan for the future. It helps you show up with purpose and clarity every single day, making sure that your actions are always in alignment with your long-term aspirations. The way you view yourself in the face of failure is one of the most significant factors determining whether you will ultimately succeed or not. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. It's seen as a reflection of incompetence, weakness, or inadequacy. But if you want to break through your limits and reach your highest potential, you must start viewing failure as a necessary and even valuable part of the journey. In fact, those who succeed in any area of life are not the ones who avoid failure, but those who embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward despite it. The first shift that must happen is in your perception of failure itself. Instead of seeing it as a sign of defeat, start to see it as feedback. Each failure, every mistake, and every setback holds valuable information about where you need to grow, what strategies you need to adjust, and how you can improve your approach. Failure is simply a part of the learning process. It's the necessary bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. If you view failure as the end of the road, you're more likely to give up when things get tough. But if you can recognize failure for what it truly is, a stepping stone towards success, you can push through the rough patches and keep moving forward. Part of this shift in perspective involves understanding that failure is never final. Just because something doesn't work out as planned doesn't mean it's the end of the line. Many of the greatest successes in history were preceded by numerous failures. Innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders often face repeated setbacks before they achieve their breakthrough moment. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in their willingness to persist despite the failures. They view each failure as a learning opportunity, a moment to gather new insights, and a chance to refine their approach. By constantly seeking improvement through failure, they create an upward trajectory that leads them closer and closer to their ultimate goal. Another key element in reframing failure is understanding the role of resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after a setback, to get up, shake off the disappointment, and try again. Resilience is developed through repetition, through getting back on your feet each time life knocks you down. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding failure. It means learning how to endure it without losing your enthusiasm, your drive, or your sense of purpose. It means not letting a single setback define your future actions. Those who succeed are often the ones who keep showing up, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that every failure is just another part of the process, not an indication that they are incapable or unworthy. In addition to resilience, there's also the importance of mindset when it comes to dealing with failure. A fixed mindset, believing that your abilities are static and that failure is proof of your limitations, can prevent you from growing. On the other hand, a growth mindset, believing that abilities can be developed and that failure is an opportunity to improve, encourages you to learn from mistakes and keep growing. People with a growth mindset view failure as an essential part of the process, not as a personal attack or a reflection of their inherent abilities. This mindset allows them to stay focused on progress, not perfection, and helps them continue moving forward even when they don't see immediate results. One of the greatest dangers of fear of failure is that it leads to inaction. When you fear failure, you may be paralyzed by the possibility of making a mistake, and instead of trying and learning, you choose not to act at all. This fear keeps you stuck, limits your growth, and prevents you from realizing your full potential. The reality is that inaction in the face of fear guarantees failure because it prevents you from making progress. The only true failure is not trying. The people who succeed are the ones who take consistent action, despite the fear of failing, because they understand that every action, whether it leads to success or failure, moves them closer to their ultimate goal. Failure also teaches valuable lessons about self-discipline, patience, and perseverance. When things don't go as planned, it forces you to reevaluate, adjust, and refine your strategy. You may have to work harder, be more resourceful, or find new ways to approach your challenge. These lessons are crucial for personal development and growth. The ability to persist through difficulty and maintain your focus on the long-term goal is often what separates those who succeed from those who quit. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about how you handle it when it inevitably comes. Successful people don't throw in the towel when things get tough. They rise to the occasion, adjust their strategies, and continue moving forward with determination. Furthermore, failure can teach humility. It reminds you that you're not infallible, that you will make mistakes, and that you are constantly learning. Humility doesn't mean doubting yourself. It means understanding that there's always room for growth, and that failure is just another part of the process of becoming better. Embracing failure with humility means being open to feedback, being willing to learn from your mistakes, and not letting your ego prevent you from growing. Ultimately, the key to success isn't avoiding failure, it's how you react to it. When you develop the ability to view failure as a natural and necessary part of the process, you free yourself from the fear that often holds you back. You stop seeing failure as a reflection of your worth and start seeing it as an opportunity to improve, to learn, and to grow. The more you embrace failure, the more resilient you become, and the more likely you are to succeed in the long run. As you journey through life, you'll encounter countless challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned, or when the road ahead seems filled with obstacles. But the truth is, the greatest victories come not from avoiding failure, but from embracing the lessons it offers. Every moment of struggle, every failure, every misstep holds within it an opportunity for growth. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't lies in how they choose to respond to adversity. Your ability to see setbacks as stepping stones rather than roadblocks will shape your path forward. When you have a vision, a clear sense of where you want to go, failure becomes less intimidating. It no longer represents the end of the journey, but rather a challenge to rise above. It's through failure that you build resilience, strengthen your resolve, and develop the character necessary to succeed. It's not about never falling down, it's about how you get back up, stronger and more determined than before. Take ownership of your actions, decisions, and outcomes. Your success doesn't depend on luck or circumstance. It depends on your mindset, your ability to learn from each experience, and your unwavering commitment to your vision. Remember that certainty, clarity, and confidence are not something you wait for. They are cultivated through consistent effort and a willingness to face challenges head on. Your body language, the way you present yourself to the world, plays an essential role in shaping your own experience. The more you align your physical presence with your inner confidence and vision, the more you will inspire both yourself and those around you. Confidence isn't just something you feel. It's something you create through action, focus, and self-belief. As you continue to move forward, never lose sight of the power of your vision. The clearer your vision, the more focused your actions will be. It serves as a guiding light, illuminating your path even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Stay connected to your purpose and let that purpose fuel your actions. The obstacles you face along the way are simply opportunities to sharpen your skills, deepen your understanding, and grow stronger. Remember, failure is not the end. It's the beginning of something better. Each failure brings with it the potential for learning, growth, and progress. The key is to never stop moving forward, no matter how many times you stumble along the way. Believe in your ability to create the life you want, and let that belief guide you through the inevitable challenges. At the end of the day, it's your willingness to keep moving forward with unwavering determination, regardless of the setbacks, that will determine your success. Stay resilient, stay focused, and above all, stay committed to the vision of who you are becoming. Your journey is yours to create. Make it one of strength, growth, and relentless pursuit of your greatest potential.